Hello, hi. Hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hey, I'm A. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'm gonna take this off. Thank you for choosing to share some of yourself with me today. Ideally, you are feeling fabulously. I am feeling quite alright myself, if I do say so myself. So, I was called to do a collective read. So I'm not gonna stall too much. We're gonna get right on in it because I actually started feeling this energy when I was doing the live before this one. So right away, the name Ashley could be of significance. I'm feeling a heavy energy, but at the same time, there's joy, if you will. There's a song. Oh, feels like I can finally rest my head on something real. I like the way that feels. Yeah, so that's playing. Oh, it's as if you know me better than I ever knew myself. I love how you can tell. But I also feel like maybe someone might have been spooked. All the pieces, pieces, pieces of me. Right, these downloads are just coming in. So, okay, so because the energy is feeling heavy, someone, and we're gonna figure out what energy is what. Someone could be in a situation or have dealt with a situation that felt, seems like I can finally rest my head on something real, right? That felt like really good, right? That you may have felt was genuine, like this is the one, this is the time, this is the relationship, this is my person, this is that, right? But for whatever reason, I'm also feeling an energy of heaviness. And like I said, maybe someone got spooked. I kind of feel like I feel like there's a lot of emotion. Magic. Pardon y'all, my puppy. She's messing with this magic. No, thank you, ma'am. No, no, no. We're not gonna chew on my light. No, thank you. Yeah, so someone could be dealing with emotional overwhelm, or that could have been the cause of some sort of distance or separation. I'm feeling a lot of emotions. I'm feeling heaviness. I'm feeling sadness. I'm feeling joy. I'm feeling freedom. I'm feeling like I can just take my deep breath, but at the same time, I'm also feeling like, oh no, like, oh no, like that's not what was supposed to happen, or oh no, did that really happen? So let's see what's going on. Like I said, I don't want to stall too much. All right, we're at about 5 minutes, so we're just gonna start pulling. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for choosing to share some of yourself with me today. Let's see what you guys have going on. Let's see what the message is. If this is not your read, then that's okay. That just means this is not your read. That just means that you should come back for some more, because that just means another read is your read. You're welcome to stay, though. You are welcome to stay. Hello, hello, hi, hi, hi. So I'm gonna let you guys know. My vision is not fabulous, okay? And I do not have my contacts in. So I can't really see your messages. I might stop. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, hello, hello. And take a second to look at your messages, but I'm going to be focusing on the energy. So let's see what comes out. Let me get 3, please. All right, dating, meeting someone new. This is the Mystic Love Oracle, by the way, that I'm using first. 2 more, please. Cheating, broken trust, E. And then marriage, sacred union. Well, seems like we got some things to unpack here. So we got dating, cheating, and marriage. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Magic? Girl, I will put you out of this room. All right. Before we get started, I'm about to put Magic out because she's not going to be messing with my read. No, no, ma'am. Do not run from me. Oh, she wants me to rub her belly. Sorry, guys. Not right now, my love. Not right now, but I promise you'll get all my attention after. Okay? Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Thank you. All right. Sorry for that. So, from the Mystic Love Oracle, we have out dating, meeting someone new. We have out cheating, broken trust. And then we have marriage, sacred union. Okay? So, thank you. So, that honestly can be part of the reason why I am feeling like so many emotions, right? Like, I feel safe. I feel panicked. I feel like this is the best feeling ever. I feel like solid, like we locked in. But oh no, this wasn't supposed to happen like this. So let's see. We have the moon in reverse that just came out. Release of fear, secrets revealed, truth exposed, dreams, repressed emotions, maybe understanding. Something could be becoming clear. All right, let's see what this is about. All right. All right, so we have Three of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, for those of you that care. I feel like clarity is being, someone is receiving clarity or someone is understanding something better about perhaps maybe about a community or a relationship or perhaps some sort of reunion or union. Perhaps there is something that someone literally maybe like manifested or brought into their life and or maybe went after and got. Why is the moon here? Let's see if we can figure out what's going on and we'll dissect it. Okay. Perhaps someone is becoming clear that they were trying to control something. Perhaps insecurity was really loud within the situation. Or perhaps insecurity maybe led to some sort of broken trust or led to some sort of pain. We have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. We have the Four of Pentacles clarifying this moon in reverse. This moon in reverse is speaking to understanding. It's speaking to clarity. And so perhaps it could be that someone is becoming aware that perhaps their need to control or their insecurity or perhaps even lack mindset brought about some sort of disappointment, some sort of feeling of failure, some sort of feeling of loss, some sort of feeling of maybe perhaps something that was joyous, was happy, was or did at one point feel like a reason to celebrate, is now shrouded in feelings of regret, grief. Nine of Swords energy, okay? That's anxiety, depression, sleepless nights, nervousness, despair even. This is a really heavy energy. And like I said, just like I can feel it in my gut. It's like really happy, but really sad, if that makes sense. I'm hearing this song, I don't know who it's by, but it's way before my time. I want to say like in the 50s or 60s. I don't remember who it's by, but it's like, the words are, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me," or something like that. It's by, I want to say like the Temptations or like the Commodores or like something like that. Anyway, that's what I'm hearing. "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." But then at the same time, that's what I'm getting when I'm looking at this Five of Cups. Again, that Five of Cups speaks to loss, regret, sadness, despair. So perhaps someone could be really feeling like they lost something that was perhaps the best thing that ever happened to them, right? Or thus far, right? Could be, okay? It is important to remember that there are still days ahead of you that will prove to be the best days you've ever had. You just haven't gotten there yet, right? So it's important to remember that. That being said, this overthinking energy, fear, it's lack mindset. Then we have Nine of Wands. I feel like that's over here as well. Okay, so something surrounding some sort of, again, relationship that perhaps was joyous, celebrated, lighthearted, is feeling heavy. And I feel like that is as a direct result of lack mindset, feeling like one isn't enough, feeling like the need to control comes from a lack mindset. The need to hoard, the need to keep things close, that does come from a lack mindset because there's that feeling of what if. Well, I need to control this because what if that, right? I can't let them do this because what if that, okay? When what we should all, speaking to myself included, right? What we should all be seeking is abundance, right? Living in an abundance mindset. Well, when you are living in an abundance mindset, you are in the here and now. And in the here and now, you have everything that it is that you need. Even if it feels like you don't, right? You could feel like, well, no, what I need is this and this and this and this and this, and I don't have that. Well, in this moment right now, you have everything that you need. Okay, so control comes from a sense of feeling like you don't, or you won't, or you can't, or you're not worthy, or this or that, right? Not enough, okay? I'm feeling the need to control this situation. I'm feeling like I need to know every single thing about this over here because what if, when, what you need to just be doing is, now that's not saying be ignorant and uninformed, but what you need to be doing is knowing that the answers that you seek are going to come to you in divine timing, okay? And I feel like that could be, I just went on a whole little tangent, right? Yes, but I do feel like that could be the understanding that someone is coming in or sitting in right now, or starting to get the clarity that someone is starting to get. Someone could have had their guard up really high, perhaps unbeknownst to them. I feel like there could have been an energy of projection, okay? So I just heard something very specific. I'm not going to say that, but I will use an example. Okay, so let's say you were in a situation and someone was always like, well, I feel like you're mad right now. And you're like, I'm not mad. Like, I'm really, really like, I'm not mad. Yes, you are. And then perhaps, again, this is hypothetical. This is what I'm getting. So this is what I'm saying. But perhaps that individual could have worked themselves up and now made themselves mad. The reality is they were mad, okay? And it's projection. I feel like you're mad when the reality is I'm mad. I'm unhappy and I don't know why I'm mad and I don't know why I'm unhappy. So I am going to project that onto you, okay? That is real specific, but that's what I'm kind of getting. Again, that was just an example, but I'm saying all this to say there could have been a situation in which someone was very, very guarded. And I don't feel like they would have seen themselves as guarded, okay? This could be someone who, I'm an open book. Ask me anything. I don't have anything to hide. I let everyone in. I've lived so much life that I know not to be guarded, okay? And I'm not mocking anybody. This is just the energy that I'm getting. When the reality is they were very, very guarded, okay? Very, very anxious individual. Very, very fear-based individual. And I feel as though they fear that they may have sabotaged the best thing that has ever happened to them. All right, so with this cheating out here, we also have broken trust. So for some, perhaps there was some sort of cheating involved, okay? But then for others, it could really just be a matter of broken trust, which presents itself in different ways, okay? So if someone was a safe space, you felt as though someone was a safe space, or perhaps maybe someone felt as though you were a safe space. It could be as simple as those feelings are no longer there. Okay, I'm feeling like I'm not safe with this energy anymore. Okay, that is an example of broken trust. That does not necessarily equate to cheating. All right, but cheating is out here, so I gotta say that. That is just an example. All right, that has been given. That being said, I feel as though part of the reason why this energy is so heavy is because I feel as though someone could be becoming clear and or telling themselves in the understanding that perhaps, maybe, possibly, they drove away something that they wanted so bad at one point in their life. They drove away something that they perhaps manifested, right? They called into themselves. And now they're in an energy of perhaps maybe just observing. All right, let me just see. Let's keep pulling. That was a lot that I got from these little cards. All right, so I kind of feel like we already spoke to this Page of Pentacles because again, I do feel as though that is speaking to energy manifested, right? A situation, a circumstance, a scenario manifested, called into one's reality that perhaps, I don't want to say they fumbled, but maybe it was a lesson that perhaps they didn't want to be a lesson. All right, or perhaps maybe a test that one failed, if you will, but failures are lessons. That being said, with this Page of Swords, someone is curious about someone. Now, I don't know who is who and what. I don't know if this is your energy, all right? I don't know if this is an energy that you're dealing with. About a Queen of Wands or Queen of Swords. This is Queen of Swords. I don't know why I said Queen of Wands. Maybe someone's a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. About a Queen of Swords energy. This could also speak to that energy, this individual as well. You could perhaps be an air sign. You could be in contemplative energy. This could be you that I'm speaking to, that is coming to some sort of understanding, right? That is coming to some sort of realization, like, okay, perhaps maybe I kind of messed that up, right? Perhaps my lack mindset, okay? Me feeling as though I'm not enough, me wanting to control a situation that I called to me, ruined it because I had not yet dealt with issues that I needed to before calling this energy to me. All right. So if that is not you, that could be how an energy is feeling about you, surrounding you. All right. As far as your energy is concerned. That being said, we do have a very independent, intelligent, honest energy out here. So like I said, that could be you. This could be speaking to another individual. Nonetheless, whoever is in this contemplative energy, this understanding energy, this things are starting to become clear. I can see clearly now, right? Someone could feel like the fog is lifting, which could also be the reason for this feeling of overwhelm, this overwhelming feeling of regret, despair, but then joy. I kind of feel like too, someone could be wondering how to, with this marriage sacred union, if this was or is something that was, for all intents and purposes, someone could feel, wow, I just heard demolished. Damn, what happened? But you know, messed up, right? Maybe fucked up, okay? I do feel as though there could be some contemplation with regard to how to fix it, okay? Also, I just heard, who is it by? Is it Brian McKnight? One, you're like a dream come true, two. Yeah. So someone could be coming clear to that, I don't know, maybe someone did stray, all right? And by stray, I mean cheat. Maybe somebody did cheat and they are realizing that that's not what they should have did, duh. But perhaps they're wanting exactly what they walked away from, which, I'm not going to really tell you how to handle that. I'm not really going to tell you how to handle that. What I will say, and I'm being called to say, in the live that I did prior to this, when I was just cleansing my stones, something that was really coming through is discernment, right? It is important to be discerning, right? And being able to trust yourself, listen to yourself, right? And part of that comes from being secure within yourself and trusting yourself, okay? And I feel like whatever this is that perhaps someone is feeling sadness about, perhaps there was broken trust with regard to, I feel like has everything to do with someone second guessing themselves, someone second guessing their intuition, that lack mindset, right? Not feeling like they are enough, not feeling like the very thing that they wanted, that they called to them, they were able to measure up to. And that stems from lack of discernment, right? Lack of not trusting oneself. Yeah, tower moment. So we have tower. And I feel like, so have you ever heard the saying, things fall down, right? Things fall down, so better things can fall together. And I feel like, oh, at the bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Pentacles. Okay, stability, yeah. But I do feel like that could be the case. Could be the case here, depending on your situation, right? Depending on the scenario. With regard to this, though, what I'm seeing is there was some sort of shift. There was some sort of sudden shift, sudden change that perhaps I don't think that whatever this is, let me just see what this is real fast. I don't think that whatever this is, I don't think the magnitude registered right away. Ace of Swords, clarity. So there's a heavy energy of clarity. So yeah, you or someone else is becoming very clear on you and your situation, or you are coming very clear on you and another individual, right? And your situation, okay? But I feel as though whatever this tower moment was, whatever this sudden debacle is what I just heard. What does debacle mean? I'm gonna have to look it up. Debacle, what does that mean? Does debacle mean like, I don't know, I think it means problem, right? So okay, I don't use that word, but maybe you do. Whatever the debacle is, whatever this tower moment is, whatever the sudden shift is, whatever the thing is that happened that is the source of the despair, okay? I do feel as though that did have to happen, right? Also, I'm hearing something about cracks in the foundation being exposed. So I don't really know. Let me see. How can I put this into words? So basically what I'm seeing is like an earthquake, right? And it's like a building is being shaken. And all of the things, all of the parts of the building that are not solid, right? The bricks that are loose, are not secure, those are falling. But with that, the message that I'm getting is, yeah, cracks in the foundation being exposed. So what I feel like is whatever this is that happened, it had to be able to facilitate some sort of clarity. Remember how earlier, for those that were here earlier, in the message, I was speaking to a lack mindset, and I was also speaking to projection. And so with that, there could be, maybe still a little bit, a sense of denial or not wanting to look at oneself. And that is speaking to the projection that I was getting earlier, that example that I was giving. You're dealing with someone, you're talking to someone, you're fine, you had a great day, you're not feeling mad, and like, I feel like you're mad, I feel like you have an attitude, and you're like, nah, I really don't. Like, I'm really not mad. I really don't have an attitude. And it's just as a result of that individual projecting and them feeling unsettled within themselves and projecting that onto you because they are unable to identify where those feelings come from. That was a long way to say that. That is what I feel as though whatever this Tower moment is exposing to said individual, be it you, be it this other person, all right? Be it the both of you, okay? So for some of you guys, whatever this is, whatever this is happened as a result to help to bring you into balance, okay? Help to facilitate growth with regard to emotional maturity, okay? Part of emotional maturity is being able to identify the feelings within yourself without projecting those onto others, all right? I feel as though I could be speaking to someone who is or was dealing with or is dealing with someone who views emotional maturity as stoic. No. Not showing your emotions is not, I mean, I guess it could be a trait, I guess, a characteristic, I guess, of stoicism, but it's not emotional maturity. Okay? Emotional maturity is what is the word I'm looking for? Not control, but having I guess I'll say control. I don't really want to use the word control in this instance, but because another word isn't coming to me, we're gonna say that. All right, having control over your emotions, right? Being able to lead your emotions, guide your emotions, manage, we'll say that, manage your emotions, okay? You're not projecting. You're able to identify things within yourself that perhaps you did or are projecting onto other individuals, right? You are able to look within yourself, okay? And also be aware of what others are putting out, right? Being able to understand that nothing that anyone does has anything to do with you. It's not about you, okay? Whatever this is that happened, I'm not really getting a clear, it could be too because it's different for everybody. Because when I tried to clarify the Tower, I got Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords speaks to clarity, speaks to understanding, can also speak to victory. So in a sense, if this is you that is becoming clear, pat yourself on the back, okay? But there's been an air of clarity from the beginning of this read. Also heavy, but clarity. So whatever this is, I feel like it is helping to facilitate maturity that perhaps you would not have been able to gain without whatever this is. I just heard rock the boat, rock the boat, rock the boat, rock the boat. So perhaps this feeling of despair, perhaps you guys could have someone in just despair over you, honey. That ultimately, perhaps you're going to circle the block. All right. Now listen, for me, that's actually a big deal to come from my lips because I typically don't advise that. But at the same time, everyone's story and everyone's situation is different. And so the fact that I even felt called to say that could very well be the case for some of you guys. Yeah, so if that's yours, take it. And I don't even mean that in a lighthearted sense. Sometimes, and again with this, like I said earlier, things are shaken apart so better things can fall together, right? So perhaps trust was broken with regard to whatever this situation is, honey, so it can come back stronger, right? In some of you guys' situation, trust was broken to teach you to trust yourself. And honestly, I learned that a while ago by force, some years ago, that all you really need, yes, it's going to be important to trust others in your life and your journey, yes. But all you really, 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 really need is trust in yourself to be able to walk away from situations that don't serve you anymore. Trust in yourself to be able to recognize situations that are good for you and serve you. Once you have those, you're going to be good, okay? So there's that. There's a lot of little messages in here. How long has this been? All right, I'm gonna wrap this up in a second because there's another message that needs to come through, and it's completely separate of this. All right. Be kind to yourself. And again, now I'm repeating what I said in my previous live. Be kind to yourself. Take some time to yourself. If any of this is resonating with you, take some time to yourself. Take some time to gather your thoughts. If this does have to do with some sort of like marriage, or that's you're up in the air about, or some sort of like serious partnership, okay? Take some time to yourself. And the song keeps playing in my head. It's by Ashley Simpson. And the lyrics are, feels like I can finally rest my head on something real. I like the way that feels. It's as if you know me better than I know myself. I love how you can tell all the pieces of me. So I don't know, that is definitely significant in some way, shape, or form. So take that if it's yours. I'm just the channel by which that's coming through, I should say. I also want to speak to self-protection. I'm getting from this Four of Swords. Listen, if you were pulled away from a situation and you don't feel called back, perhaps that could be for your own self-protection. On the flip side, though, if you are being, and this is, like I said, this is not really like me to say, because I don't really, I believe when you're called away from situations, it's time to leave. But for whatever reason, if you're feeling called back to a situation that you left, I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe explore it. Listen to it, okay? But keep the lessons that you are becoming clear on in mind. When we go through things in life and we learn things, the whole purpose is for us to bring those things with us, right? We don't learn a lesson and then I'm going to just put this lesson down and I'm going to just live life as if that shit didn't happen and I don't know, I didn't learn anything, right? And I'm just saying that because that could be relevant. We learn lessons when we truly learn from them. We act accordingly. We do things differently. All right? Keep that in mind. Take some time to yourself, regardless of where you fall in this, child. I don't even know what I'm going to call this because I feel like it's such a unique message all over the place. Kind of all over the place. All right, well, let's get our final message. I barely even used this other deck I was called to, but perhaps that could be for the read that I'm going to be doing next. I don't know. What is the final message? Let's just get some closing thoughts. There is something that I feel like should be revisited. Maybe for a short time, not a long time. I'm not sure. I just heard short time, not a long time. I just heard, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. So I don't know. Let's get some closing messages because otherwise I can sit in this energy. It feels complex and layered, if I'm being honest. I don't know that one individual is going to resonate with everything from beginning to end, but there are a lot of little gems in here. I think the general read is there's some clarity that is now being gotten. And I think a lot of it has to do with a lack mindset and coming to the realization that Yeah, our lives are a projection, okay? So sometimes the very thing that you are afraid of happening happens because you spend so much energy focused on what if that thing happens because I lack here, I don't have this, I'm not good enough that, you know? So, yeah. All right, final message. Oh, it's so many. Also, with this magician just flipping over, ooh, we have King of Swords. That's balanced energy, partnership energy out here because we have the Queen of Swords, but I'm putting this King of Swords back. The magician. You have the power to create the life that you want. And I know, without going on a tangent, I will try my best not to go on a tangent. But I know that a lot of people tend to roll their eyes when they hear that. But it really is true. It really is true. Also, something about journaling. So maybe with regard to whatever this is, maybe write down your desired outcome. Be it a stronger sense of self or be it some sort of union. Write it down. All right, let me see. So we have Eight of Swords, Page of Wands, the Hermit, Six of Swords. With this Eight of Swords, that speaks to self-imposed prison, okay? It can speak to limiting beliefs, can speak to lack mindset, kind of what I've been speaking on. It's the energy. Because going back to this feeling of despair that I was feeling so strongly at the beginning of the read, I feel as though, yeah, again, that has everything to do with the messages that someone is telling themselves. Okay, so I've said that a lot. I don't want to keep repeating myself because I'm going to wrap this up. But there is an energy of someone feeling powerless. So if this is you, you have the power. So take your power back. Write in your journal what it is that you're wanting out of whatever this is. What you're wanting for yourself, what you're wanting for the other individual. All right. And when I say this, I mean really sit down and think about the shit, right? Quiet your mind. What is it that I want? Okay. You have to become clear on what it is that you want. What is it that I want? Figure it out. Write it down. That'll help release feelings of powerlessness too. Also, victim mentality. Okay, I don't care what your situation is. The reality is you are not powerless, okay? I don't care how bleak a circumstance is. You are not powerless, all right? Yeah, there's a heavy victim mentality or whoa, I don't want to say woe is me, but that's what I'm getting. Okay, moving on. Perhaps something needs to be looked at from a new perspective with this Page of Wands. Perhaps in writing out what it is that you are wanting, what it is that you would like to see bring into fruition for you, for this other individual, for you together, for you apart, whatever the case might be for your life, maybe look at something from a new perspective, okay? And perhaps that will come when you are writing them. But I don't like to write, okay? Well, listen, I don't really know what to tell you because I definitely feel like that needs to happen. If you are someone, I don't like to write things down. You could be blocking a blessing. You could be blocking the very thing that it is that you want, okay? Growth. You could be blocking that because of it involves doing something that you don't want to do. When you're journaling, when you're writing out what it is that you want, right? Perhaps that could help you to become clear on something else that you're wanting, could help you to become clear on the steps that you need to take, okay? So really take it serious, all right? And if you're feeling like you don't want to, well, I guess you don't want to, but I would strongly suggest it. With the Hermit, all right? Again, take some time to yourself. Perhaps maybe somebody needs to put your phone down. Don't we all? Discernment, though. And I feel as though whatever the feelings of powerlessness that someone is living in, if it's not you, it's not you, all right? This could be an individual that you're dealing with and you know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But I'm sure we can all relate, okay? Whatever that feeling of powerlessness is, it really is something that really can only be helped within oneself. You can go to therapy and talk till you're blue in the face. At the end of the day, the only person that can really give you power is you. I think what needs to happen, regardless of where you are in this, I was speaking to lessons earlier, and I just love how this is all coming together because we're in the final closing message. Whatever lesson that it is that perhaps maybe you've been fighting, and I'm speaking to you, whoever you are, regardless of where you fall in this, whatever lesson that you've been running from or not wanting to accept or not wanting to see, it's time for you to see, okay? It's time for you to accept. And it's time for you to pick up the lesson and use it in your life, okay? Because otherwise you're going to keep relearning the same lesson because you never really learned it, all right? Allow yourself to move towards calmer waters or calm waters. Move on. Gosh, I was trying to end this, but I got to tell you what I'm getting. You know how I was talking about that victim mentality? Don't get triggered. But it could be, that's comfortable for someone. That's how they, whatever the circumstance is, whatever it is that you have going on in your life, and if this is not you, perhaps another individual involved in whatever this is, it's comfortable. It's how they identify. Well, I can't do this. Or I'm not this. Or I'm never going to be able to this. Or this is just my reality. Well, yeah, that's your reality because that's what you're telling your reality is. Yourself that your reality is. There's a need to move on from that. Leave that behind. That could be what someone is gaining clarity on as well. And it could be scary because you're going into the unknown. But it's necessary. All right? Hopefully that was able to help in some way, shape, or form. Thank you so much for stopping by. I cannot wait to see you again here soon. I'm coming right back with another collective message. Thank you for choosing to share some of yourself with me today. Mwah, 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 mwah.